By now, you've probably heard of using cold email to grow your business. In fact, you've probably heard stories like this where one of our clients added over $270,000 in revenue in 8 months by using cold email. Or even stories like this where another one of our clients closed two new deals, including even with one of their dream customer who wants to work with them for life. But I understand you might have skepticism on how to get results like these. Well, don't worry because in this video, I'm going to break down my 3-step cold email playbook to sign your first customer using cold email in 2025. Let's get right into it. All right, so the first key step of this cold email outbound playbook is identifying your target market and building a lead list of them. So we're going to do a lot of segmentation here because if you can do this correctly, your cold emails will be a lot easier to write. You'll get more replies, you'll book more meetings, and you'll close more deals. So if you do this correctly, you'll be able to have a much easier script writing process because writing to one specific persona or one specific type of person is a lot easier than writing to like this huge persona, right? So for example, if if let's say there's two email campaigns you send out, one is just broad. It's like all CMOs in the US, right? Like any employee headcount, any industry, all CMOs in the US. Versus another campaign which is like CMOs of over 100 employees insurance over CMOs of insurance companies that have over 100 employees. That second one is a lot more narrow than the first one, and it'll be a lot easier to perform on and write scripts on than the first one because it's a lot narrow. You're writing to one specific type of persona or one specific type of person, so it'll be super easy, or at least easier than the first one, to write and create an offer for that persona because you're going to know what desires they have, what pain points they have, and it'll just be more relevant to them, right? So the way you do this is primarily through 5 things. And let me fix this here. 5 things, and I'll explain each one here. So the way you do this is again by what industry they're in, what geographical location. So like U.S. let's say, employee headcount, how many employees they have. So like 10 to 20, 21 to 50, 100 to 200, whatever it may be. Job title, CMO, let's say for example, and technologies they use. This is a super underrated one, but I recommend you guys do this when you can, if it doesn't destroy your TAM. But this is very, very good as well. If you can figure out what technologies they use at their company, it'll be very good. And these are the 5 key things. So the way you're going to scrape this is through Apollo.io. Again, a lot of people give Apollo a bad rep, but in my opinion, still to this day, it's still the best bang for your buck database. The data isn't the best, but it just gets the job done. There's nothing else for this price point, and for for literally what you get, that gets the job done as much as Apollo. So in my opinion, Apollo is the best to do all of this on. So yeah, here's another example. Let's say it's VP of sales at insurance companies with 200 to 500 employees in the U.S. that are using the technology Salesforce. So this specific persona is it's very, 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 very narrow versus, let's say, if you were to do like VP of sales at all U.S. companies that have over 200 employees, right? That would be very broad, but this is very narrow, and you're writing to one specific avatar, one specific type of person, and it might shrink your lead list, but it will make your script writing process a lot easier and better because again, you know exactly what pain points to have and what desires to have. So then once you've scraped that lead list off of Apollo, you're going to verify the emails. I recommend one of these two. I actually recommend Dbounce more because they do the same thing, but Dbounce is cheaper. So you get more bang for your buck. But I do believe Dbounce, they don't accept everybody, and there's like a wait list you might have. So if you can't, just go to Mail and Verifier. Again, both of these tools are good. I've used both, so I recommend both. So once you pull that lead list off of Apollo, verify the emails, and you should be good to go. That's step number 1, just creating your ideal customer profile. Again, this might be a little boring, but trust me, if you can do this correctly, and if you get very, very granular, or very, very narrow, you will be able to write your emails a lot better, and this will help you set up and create scripts a lot better. So that's step number 1, right? The second step is infrastructure. So when I mean infrastructure, I just mean what sending tools are you going to be using for these campaigns, right? So Smart Lead is, in my opinion, the best sending tool on the platform right now. Like, I recommend Smart Lead over anything else. But one of the reasons why I recommend Smart Lead is because you can, for beginners, if you're just starting out with cold email, you can immediately set up and buy domains on Smart Lead. So they make the process a lot easier. And I know Instantly does this as well, but Smart Lead, they make the process a lot easier to setting up email accounts, buying the domains, because they have it in their platform itself. So you're going to want to go into Smart Lead. You're going to set up, you're going to buy email, you're going to buy new domains on Smart Lead, set up email accounts on Smart Lead, and here's the split that you're going to do heading into 2025, right? 75% of your domains are going to be Google, 25% of your domains are going to be Outlook. Right now, Outlook is having a bit of a moment where a lot of their emails are landing in spam. If you send to Outlook, you're gonna land in spam. If you're sending from Outlook, you might even land in spam. So I recommend running this split right now to start out with cold email in 2025. And the reason why you might be like, okay, Aaron, well, if Outlook's landing in spam, I don't need any Outlook. No, in my opinion, get both still, because last year around this time at the beginning of 2024, last year, Outlook was actually king, and it would have been the other way around. Outlook would have been 75, Google would have been 25, because Google was having a moment and Outlook was performing better. So you have to realize with this thing, if you're a beginner getting into outbound, that there's always moments and there's always changes of tides. So last year it was Outlook winning, now it's Google winning. So it's always going to go back and forth, back and forth. Just make sure you have both. Make sure you just diversify. That way, if one of them fails, you can just rely on the other one. So go into Smart Lead, buy the domains, set up 75% of your email accounts to be Google, 25% Outlook, and if I go down here, so for example, let's say if you buy 14 domains, that's 2 email accounts per domain, that's 28 email accounts. 21 of them are going to be Gmail, 7 are going to be Outlook, and Outlook is spelled wrong, hold up. And so 7 are going to be Outlook, right? So that's the split I recommend, 75-25, very, very good for right now. I'm not going to get too much into detail on how to go through this Outlook crisis, but still buy Outlook, still use Outlook, but prioritize Google first and make that your major one, right? Then once you've bought those accounts, you're just going to wait 2 weeks for the warm-up process to finish, and apologies for spelling error here, but in case you don't know what warm-up is essentially when you buy these email accounts, you can't immediately start blasting out emails every single day, because if you do that, Google and Microsoft will look at it and be like, okay, this guy's a spammer, he just bought this email account and he's already sending out like 200 messages a day. You have to warm it up. That's why it's called warm-up. So enable warm-up on Smart Lead, wait 2 weeks, and you should be fine. You should be fine after 2 weeks, right? So that's just the infrastructure process. That's the second step. Set up this infrastructure. Smart Lead makes it super easy. Like it's dumb easy on how you can set up this infrastructure. So go on Smart Lead, buy the domains on Smart Lead, set up email accounts on Smart Lead, and wait 2 weeks. Pretty simple, right? Now the last process is the offer itself. So with the offer, if I go over here, there's really 2 main things. And let me put this closer. Well, yeah. I'll just leave it here. There's really 2 main things, right? Which is creating the offer and the scripts. Let's first start off with creating the offer, right? So when you're creating the offer, again, this is why I heavily prioritize that lead list building part, because if you can get very granular, you can understand your target market's pain points and desires a lot more. So if you have one specific persona, CMO of insurance companies with over 100 employees, you know what pain points they have, what desires they may have, and how you can, I guess, integrate your offer or what you're selling when it comes to integrating with their pain points and desires. You'll know and you'll understand it, right? So really, to do this, to understand your pain points and desires, you're going to use ChatGPT, right? This is a fantastic tool that I recommend when you're reaching out to a market that you don't know. Use ChatGPT, or you can even, if you have customers right now that are in that current industry or in that, I guess, ideal customer profile, talk to them. Be like, okay, hey, like before working with us, what pain points did you have? Like, what were you suffering with? How did we really help you out? Why did you buy from us? That type of thing. Just talk to them. Just have honest conversation. And then you can also get into communities where your ideal customers are. So, for example, if you're reaching out to, let's say, construction companies and offering them Facebook ads, you can join Facebook groups of construction companies, and in those Facebook groups they'll talk about, oh man, like, my marketing is not as good because of this, this, and this, and I've just been burned in the past by other agencies doing Facebook ads, or I liked when this agency, or like I worked with the agency and they do this. So like you will literally be going to where they reside in terms of like the communities and groups and whatnot, and you can directly ask them, hey, like, just out of curiosity, what do you think of Facebook ads? What do you think of this software? What do you think of Google ads? What do you think of whatever, right? So just use these three methods and you will get back a ton of feedback. Like, you'll be able to really understand what your ideal customers are facing when it comes to their pain points and desires. And this will make the script writing process so much easier because you will understand your ideal customers more. You have to realize that when you're reaching out to these prospects, the biggest thing is sometimes people just want to be understood, right? Sometimes people want to be understood and heard out. So if you really understand what they're going through and how you can help them solve that, they will reply to your email. They will respond to your email. They will book a call with you. So if you can understand your target market more, you can leverage the pain points, you can leverage the desires, and you can just integrate your offer in a way that's like, hey, our offer can help you get your desires or run away from your pain points or help you overcome your pain points by doing blah, 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 blah. So this is a fantastic way. Do market research and you will write your emails a lot better, right? The second thing with offers is it is a end result that someone gets by working with you. I go over this a lot in my channel, but your offer is not your service or your product. Your offer is not SEO. Your offer is not TikTok. Your offer is not, a software that helps with billing. Your offer is streamlining operations if it's billing. Your offer is getting to the number one on Google or getting 100 leads, or increasing organic traffic or getting, 30 leads in 30 days, whatever it may be. That's your offer. Your service and your product is different than your offer. The offer is the end result that someone gets by working with you. And how you can actually find this is pretty simple. You're just going to list down all of the potential end result benefits that your ideal customer gets, right? So for most of you guys watching this, you guys are B2B companies, or not B2B companies. For most of you guys watching this, you guys are B2B companies, right? So there's three main things that B2B offers do. They will either make money, or save time. So stay in that box of these three and really think about your offer, really think about your services or product and be like, okay, what is like an end result? How does my product make somebody money? How does my service save somebody money? How does my service save somebody time? And then you can really get into the details of creating a really good offer. I feel like this is now becoming more common knowledge, especially with Hormozy, but I still see people get this wrong, especially with their emails, because they just talk about like our AI software is VC backed and does this and this. Like, nobody cares. Like, you're a stranger coming into their inbox. They're only going to want to care when you speak about them. If you've ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie goes into talk in terms of the self-interests of other people. So when you're trying to convince somebody on how to hop on a call with you, talk about, hey, here's why our offer, our product can benefit you. This sounds like very simple marketing, but trust me, I see a lot of people mess this up, and I really, really hope and wish that you guys really dial this down. Now, that's in the creating the offer part. When it comes to scripts, again, there's two main things, right? And I'll get into this side first. So when it comes to actually writing the scripts, you're going to want to make sure that it's 75 words or less, 7th grade reading level or below, and don't ask for a call. Instead, give information or value first. So Nobody wants to read a paragraph. If somebody texts you an entire paragraph or emails you an entire paragraph, you're going to want to dread opening that and even reading all of that. And especially if it's a stranger. If a stranger texts or emails you a whole paragraph, you're just going to be like, what is this? Like, who is sending me this, right? And you're just going to send it to junk, or you're just not going to read it, right? So keep it 75 words or less. You're also going to want to make it very simple. Nobody wants a Harvard-level MLA format essay, right? The average reading level of American is about a 7th to 8th grade reading level. So keep it 7th grade reading level or below. It's even better if you do it below, like 5th grade or 6th grade. Then, obviously, don't ask for a call in the first email. Instead, give out information or value first. Unless you're Alex Hormozi, Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, or somebody that has insane status, chances are they've never heard of you. You're a stranger, and another stranger's not going to give you his or her 30 minutes of their time because you just emailed them and they're like, hop on a call, right? Instead, you should just be like, hey, can I send more information? Or, hey, do you want this white paper I have that goes over a breakdown of a case study that I did? Or are you open to learning more? That will perform a lot better than you asking for a call in the first email. And actually, I'll get into that after. But the second thing with the scripts is you don't want any links or images in the email itself. So if you have links or images in the email, you're going to land in spam. And also, you don't need to turn on open rates. I speak to a lot of SaaS companies, especially SDRs and sales managers of SaaS companies. And if this is you, turn this off, man. Like, this is hurting your open rates. This is hurting your deliverability, because every time you send out an email with open rate tracking on to track if they open the email or not, there's a little pixel in there. There's a little pixel in there. And that actually ends up hurting your deliverability, because that little pixel is like a link, right? That link in there essentially tells you if they're tracking or not. So you don't need this. Turn this off. This is completely useless, right? Instead, enable plain text mode on Smart Lead. So on Smart Lead, there's a feature like this. That's like, hey, boost your deliverability by sending emails in plain text without HTML. Turn this on, because this will get rid of any links and you won't be able to send any emails. It's super simple. Smart Lead makes it super simple. And after you've done that, you're also going to want to spin tax the entire email. I've spoken about spin tax before, but if you spin tax the entire email, you will send out a different variation of the same email to the prospects and kind of, I guess, quote unquote, trick Google or Microsoft into thinking that you are really not sending out mass automated emails. So spin tax the entire email, including the body itself, right? Now, when it comes to scripts, there's quite literally hundreds of thousands of ways you can like write scripts, but I recommend most of you start with this. It's like, hey, name, relevant line about pain, and you get that pain point from doing your market research. Then you get into your offer, then you do your case study, and then a call to action, right? So for example, here is a script that we ran for one of our clients where he's reaching out to catering companies, and we just said, hey, Google shows that Cribs Catering and Spice and Soul Catering as the top catering options nearby. That's the pain point that they have. Like, hey, my competitors are beating me. With our lead acquisition funnel, we can get you 10 bookings per month for you, helping you beat your competition. That's the offer. For example, we helped Boston Catering book 10 new $1,250 events in just 30 days with our system. That's the case study. Are you open to learning how? That's the call to action, right? So this is actually a Clay generated AI line, but you don't really need this if you understand the pain points of your ideal customers, where you can just kind of throw in there, hey, as the CMO of insurance companies, as the CMO of this insurance company, I'm sure you're dealing with managing, I'm sure I was looking for new ways to increase your ROAS, blah, 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 right? You can just have this first line by doing market research. It's not that hard. But that's an example of a script. So, to summarize, ladies and gentlemen, the cold email outbound playbook for 2025, here's how you can get your first customer doing this, is first you're going to find your ideal customer characteristics, what job titles they are, what industry, employee headcount, technology, and location. You're going to scrape using Apollo, and you're going to verify using dBalance and Million Verifier. Then what you're going to do is you're going to set up the infrastructure and buy domains and emails on Smart Lead. Again, 75% of it should be Google, 25% of it should be Outlook. Wait 2 weeks to warm up before sending. Still get both and have both of these two in the background, because if all your eggs are in one basket and they're in Google, and like let's say 3-4 months into 2025 Google has it like an update and it goes to shit, you still have Outlook accounts, right? And then finally, in terms of scripts and offers, keep your scripts short, simple, and send in plain text. Give out value first before asking for a call, and do market research to understand your prospects' pain points and desires. This is my favorite part of doing cold email outbound, just this whole scripting and marketing side of things. But this is what you should do to get your first customer in 2025 using cold email. So with all that said, if you found this valuable, please press like and subscribe. And if you are a B2B business that's making over $30,000 a month and wants to work with my agency, we're actually running an offer right now where if we are a good fit, we'll book your next 3 qualified calls or demos absolutely for free on us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.